And welcome to the DarkSide Gaming Podcast number 15, October 2nd edition of DarkSide Gaming Podcast.
It is officially the best month of the year.
Yep. We are your hosts, Reaver.
And Sojex.
Alright. And apparently I didn't do enough prep because I still have this topic up.
We're not talking about this month's new game releases.
No, we already did that.
Although it's always a valid subject, I believe. I did have someone extremely excited about WWE 2K17 coming out this month.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one of 2.5 people that pre-ordered it.
One of 2.5?
Correct. But he seemed pretty... he's
half a pre-order.
Yeah, it was half a pre-order. It was on PS3.
Oh. I thought you said 360.
No. We don't do fractions that small. I'd rather. At least to be some interesting controls there. So I guess as per our usual, what we've been doing, I actually have something different to finally add to what I've been doing.
What?
Failing tests and playing Fallout 4. I actually had my father-in-law come over the other day, and him and I really like playing the stuff on the PS4. And he had some questions about some of the stuff overall, some of the general stuff in Fallout 4. And so I made a new playthrough, and I did a different weapon choice than I ever do. I always end up doing the exact same weapons, which is a single shot, sort of the Commando perk.
Okay.
And I always end up getting the best gun in the game, the Overseer's Guardian.
It really is.
Well, because it's double the damage for half the ammo cost. So it's way too good. Way too good of a weapon. But this time I really wanted to do something different. So I picked up... At first it was just as a joke. Just as like, I'm just going to run around and beat people with a security baton that you find right in the beginning of Vault 101.
Yes.
And so I was going around and beating the rad roaches and everything with it. And then I got to the point where I could actually pick a couple perks. And I happened to decide to go full melee this time around. I think I'm going to do full melee, but I am definitely at a disadvantage when it comes to long range things. So I think I'm going to grab probably, what's it called? I can't remember the name of the perk, but the one that makes you better with pistols is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So I think that for the slightly long distance... Gunslinger? I think you're right. I think it's Gunslinger. Nuka World did add a lot of new 4th level perks to some of the... 4th tier perks to some of the existing perks.
Okay.
One of them being for, I believe, Lone Wanderer. Once you put the 4th rank in, it either adds... I think it adds more action points to your bar. On top of bigger damage reduction and bigger damage dealt, it adds a bigger action point pool, which is pretty helpful, especially for a melee playthrough. You really want it. But I am going to go with partners, grab companions. I usually like to go the Lone Wanderer way.
I've never done a Lone Wanderer.
You just have Dogmeat. The big advantage of that is Dogmeat does not judge you. You can do whatever the hell you want.
See, I play on PC, and I can have Dogmeat and somebody.
That's true. See, I don't have that option.
And because I always will take Dogmeat.
he's a good companion, but he definitely falls off in the damage compared to the other guys.
That's why I get him to where he can grab people, hold them, and
I'll give him those extra perks. Yeah, it's definitely a big advantage. But this time I want to pick up some companions mainly because I want to get to the point where I make my robot companions because they can carry the most by any means. At the same time, though, I'm not playing on survival, so it really doesn't.
Or why don't you just grab Codsworth and upgrade him?
I hate him.
You hate Codsworth?
I hate Codsworth.
I love Codsworth.
No, he's such a tool. Like, you're like this robotic artificial intelligence sort of thing, and then I come to you and you're like, oh, nothing's been wrong. I'm just a psycho robot. No, Codsworth.
Go, Codsworth.
I had to talk you into the fact that it's been 200 years and I just got out 4 minutes ago. Like,
or Curie. Apparently, you can pursue a romantic relationship with her. I did not know that.
I know it, and I can tell you why if you want me to tell you.
I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to know.
What does Curie look like?
I don't know. I haven't put her in her...
Okay, you know she goes into a human body.
Yeah, I know
she goes into a previously synth body. Is what it is. Nothing crazy about it.
Still a synth. You're still in love with a robot.
Well, that's the entire argument of the game.
All love matters.
All love matters, but it's the entire argument of the game. Is a synth, or does a synth deserve all the same rights as a human?
Do they?
I don't know. Depends on my charisma.
Because, I guess, I don't know. Hold on. I was about to have an argument, and then I devil advocated myself.
Well, it just really, really depends which school of thought you really adhere yourself to. All right, fine. Humans made synths. They are created. They're not human. They're not alive. But it's the same process of when you conceive a child. It's mechanical versus biological.
Okay.
So,
and then I was going to say, I want to see if you follow along the same thought track I did. I can hack a synth and make it think or behave however I want it.
True. That's no different than brainwashing.
Exactly the same process.
Yeah, it's no different than brainwashing. So, but and it comes to that line of complete self-awareness, their drive for preservation of their own life. One of my favorite examples is when you're walking around, it's a random encounter.
Because if you break us down, we're literally a series of electrical impulses.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what a robot would be.
Chemical and electrical impulses. Okay, so and that's where some people are like, they go Railroad, they go Brotherhood of Steel, they go. Brotherhood of Steel is more like, yeah, maybe you're right, but I don't think that anyone should have the ability to do any of this. So fuck everything.
Not to get too political.
Yeah.
But what do you think about, like, currently? Like, I think there's some, like, people who want to protect, like, the sex robots that people are making. They're not. There's no real AI.
They're not sentient.
They're no.
They're a sex toy.
That's different. But there's people like, oh, you're exploiting it because it can talk and it can do that. Like Japan was doing some stuff. It was this thing I read a while ago.
It cannot. It is not self-aware of its own existence.
How would we judge self-awareness, though?
I would reference you back to the movie iRobot. Really old reference.
And most people didn't watch reference.
I want to say 2002. Back when you were like in your 40s. So
the desire to be free would be
the ability to feel.
The ability to feel.
The main robot that Bruce Willis is Bruce Willis. Wrong badass. Wrong badass. Sorry, Will Smith. That Will Smith is dealing with. He's interrogating him, talking to him, and the robot feels anger. He slams the table, leaves his hand, because the whole thing about the movie is Will Smith's trying to figure out whether or not that robot, I think his name's Sam or something like that, killed his creator. Yeah. That's the whole thing. So somebody killed the creator of the whole robot thing, and in the beginning of the movie, like the whole thing in the beginning is the 3 rules of robotics. You can't harm your creator, blah blah blah, or humanity, whatever it is. So the whole thing is whether or not this robot was able to go beyond that AI programming and do what it wanted. So it turns out it wasn't it, and it was this whole other situation, but it felt. I think once something is aware that it can feel, it's what that fear of living.
But couldn't feelings be programmed?
I don't know.
To express anger under these parameters, or
it's possible, but
that's where it gets really tricky.
And then the robot dreamed. The robot had dreams. So I don't know. It's one of those philosophical ideas. You breathe life into something. It's like one of the arguments that I have when I talk about people about other possible life forms out there. right? We're a carbon-based life form, but in my mind, there's a possibility that there's other life forms that won't be carbon-based.
Yeah, that I think it's so ignorant of scientists. Scientists think that there's no possible way for other than carbon-based to be around. Like, well, I guess
I know Neil deGrasse Tyson. He agrees that there could be other life forms created in different ways.
Yeah, but I haven't heard a single one of them say other than carbon though.
No,
like
he said non-carbon.
Okay, because
I don't know if he said the words non-carbon, but he said what if they were made of something else or something like that. I remember it was I believe it was first or second episode.
Game Tease, thank you for the host.
What's going on, man? I believe he was talking. It was a part where he was talking about one of Jupiter's moons.
Yes,
and they were under the end of the ground under this ocean of methane liquid, which
liquid methane
has to be super cold for it to happen.
Yeah.
So, but it's possible. So it's So anyway,
I really like philosophical discussion.
Oh, I love it. We could almost do half
we could probably do.
Good evening to you as well, Game Tease. Thank you for hosting us. Always glad to have you.
Good afternoon on our end.
Good afternoon on our end.
Good evening on your end.
Good evening. Or like Truman said, I'm becoming a lot more since we met your wife years ago.
Yeah,
she was such a movie buff and started getting me to watch more of the movies I never experienced because of the culture I grew up in was so different.
Go play a stick in a hoop.
Seriously, that was my favorite game when I was a kid. I actually had jacks, and I actually had pogs. Up into my
I had pogs too, though. Fuck it, don't knock pogs, dude.
No,
fuck marbles, pogs.
I had them in the early 2000s in Mexico.
Oh well, yeah.
So
I had them when they were a thing.
Oh, when they were a thing. Yeah, no, I think they're just getting yo-yos. No,
oh God.
Off to bed, Game Tease. All right. Well, thank you for hopping in. We'll see you later.
Thanks so much, Game Tease. You're amazing.
Oh, I was like, what? I saw the pop up there.
What did it say he started?
Something with a P. Paragon?
Oh, okay. He's doing a game show.
Okay.
Oh, thank God we're not.
But anyway, so I was playing Fallout, and I was going, and I was going through, and my weapon right now, my best weapon right now, are bladed knuckles. And then just run around. One of the best things, because I never explored melee at all before.
Bladed knuckles, huh?
Bladed knuckles.
Are you ready for this? I'm going to jump in just a little bit.
Okay.
Me and Doom started Dead Island Riptide last night. Told you about that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy in there. I think he was like a pre-order bonus, but he's like part of the main game now or whatever. Sure. He does hand-to-hand.
Okay.
He's got Wolverine claws.
Oh, nice.
Like, there's Wolverine claws in the game. There's bladed knuckles in the game.
Bladed knuckles. That's funny. That's the exact same thing I said. My wife walked up and I'm like, look, honey, I'm Wolverine.
Yep.
Except it's one hand. Like, why wouldn't you put bladed knuckle in both hands?
I think this guy uses two. Like, when you equip one, it goes
two.
boom.
Well, it makes sense. Who uses one brass knuckle? I don't know. But
the guy who has a bat in the other hand.
It's true. One of my favorite discoveries, though, is the really, really awesome kill animations that exist. Because before, with projectiles, your best case scenario is that slow down.
You see the bullet enter.
The camera follows the bullet, boom, explode. Which is great, but it gets stagnant after a while. Depending on the crit, I've noticed either the crit or the kill shot. I don't know exactly what the parameters are, but he does this like good, like boom, boom, and then just a slam down. Or I've seen him do a punch. And he goes punch, and he grabs the guy's head and just like breaks it on his knee.
Oh,
it's fucking insane, especially when it's just that kill shot. And anyway, there's a whole really cool synergistic perk dynamic it can go with, where you grab Rooted, Blitz, Grim Reaper, Sprint, and Iron Fist, and just go through this whole thing, where you're essentially teleporting from enemy to enemy to enemy because of the writing of the game. You don't walk to them or even run to them. You literally just appear in front of each enemy.
Oh, super ninja.
Yeah. Well,
with fists.
Well, that's the other thing, too. I'm going to grab Sneak, and I'm going to grab the ninja perk, so I'm quintupling my damage. Because it's already triple damage when I do a melee hit. Because instead of being double damage is the projectiles. When it's melee, it's triple damage.
Melee is so rough in the beginning, though.
I'm not having too much of a hard time.
Really?
But I've actually, because in the beginning, stim packs are hard to come across.
You're a drug addict and an alcoholic.
I've only done drugs twice and alcohol once. I was in a bad shit storm, and I actually made a combination of buff tats.
Buff tats.
Mentats and buff out. Dude, my strength went up. My strength, endurance, and intelligence, a bunch of shit went up, and it was just insane. Like I was just.
Yeah, because there's those perks that make you so you don't get addicted.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Well, and then Party Boy, which is under charisma, I want to grab because then you don't get addicted to alcohol.
You don't get addicted to alcohol.
Yeah,
this guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna run around drugged up, drunk out of his fucking mind.
You're gonna fucking by the end of the game, you're gonna look like a super mutant.
I punch out a Deathclaw.
See, that's so scary.
I punched out a
so
Deathclaw.
Scary, dude. I only let go against Deathclaws in armor, and power armor.
And that's the other thing too. Because of it, you can actually you can go into power armor, but I'm not gonna go into power armor.
You're gonna just. Nah.
The bare knuckle boxing, dude. Well, bladed knuckles. But the cool thing is, I could put my weapon away, and my fists will still do a good amount of damage. I look forward to getting the power fist.
Nice.
Off of the swan creature, the power fist. When you keep hitting the same creature in the same creature over and over again, the damage keeps doubling.
Yeah, just
you just
a jackhammer with a fist.
You know what it makes me think of? Marvel Age of Ultron. When Iron Man has got the Hulk down, he's like, go sleep.
That's exactly what the power fist is.
That's exactly what it is. I go into my Hulkbuster. Except I'm doing that to Deathclaws. Go sleep. But I am also making a huge use of the food this time around. I'm actually using the food. The Mirelurk armor, or the Mirelurk food, gives you more action points or more action point regeneration.
None of this matters unless you're doing it on survival.
I'm not doing it on survival.
Survival's so rough.
It's good. It's beyond rough. I think
Are you ready for this? They purposely make mods to make it harder on PC.
No. Survival.
But they add so many more like crafting options, and there's so many other things to grab.
There's a few things that would have to drastically change for survival to actually be playable, in my opinion, on consoles. On the PC, you can. There's all sorts of mods. You can grab the stuff. I know you got the camp cooking thing. So you can take that with you. You got the bedroll that you can put down anywhere.
Yep.
And so in console, okay, correction. On PS4, you can't do that. On Xbox One, you can download a couple of those mods. But on PS4, you can't. I don't have a bedroll, which would be immersion. That would be immersion. If I should be able to craft the bedroll.
Like you actually get to carry the backpack on it. It's got the bedroll. You got your little you see your cookout stuff and your fucking everything.
I should be able to have a canteen. I should be able to. I mean, if I can craft all these crazy mods onto weapons and armor, I should be able to craft a filter that I put in a canteen that I can walk up to a puddle of water.
Yeah, there's purification tablets. There's all kinds of stuff.
So I am.
There's even crazy ones where you boil water and
I would be
all
fine
kinds
with
of stuff.
If there was more viable ways. The problem being no saving, except when you enter and exit buildings, it autosaves. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. But no saving when unless you sleep in a bed, which is just they're so far and few between.
Having the bedroll with you.
Sometimes even when the bed is on the floor, it's not. It's not safe. You can go to sleep and then you
wake up to a Deathclaw in your face.
Yeah. So it just became too much where I would be able to. Sometimes I put in an hour or 2 hours of play.
Too much RNGesus.
And too much RNGesus. Too much. So anyway, I'm playing on.
But some would argue that is real. What? Then you're playing. You're playing Sim.
I would disagree because you could carry a bedroll. You can carry something to cook.
Well, yeah.
That would be my biggest disagreement. You as a person would find ways to make that happen.
Yeah.
So. And then of course we've been playing WoW. I think this morning I hit item level 823.
Sweet.
What do I need for
almost Mythics? Ready for Mythic.
830, right?
830. You're there. You're getting very close. So
I've only run a handful of Mythics. Most of it has been I've been doing my world quests.
Okay.
And did my world quests. What else did I do? I've been working on my alchemy stuff. God damn it, they send me all over fucking Azeroth to do this shit.
Yeah.
All over the place. It's just fine. I enjoy it.
I think everyone's going all over Azeroth for that shit.
Alchemy.
Not just alchemy, but all
even
professions.
All the professions, they send you everywhere. But it's just a pain in the ass. I'm like, I'm never going to go to this area for anything ever again. I was in Ungoro Crater trying to find this herbalist who's giving me this research notes on Fellwort. And he's in one of those giant trees, and I couldn't see him. I'm flying around, trying to find him. He was under a leaf area. You would have never seen him. Only reason I saw him, I got down to the ground, and I was going reading the quest again. I'm like, did I miss something? And I look, I'm like, motherfucker, there you are. Come here, give me your goddamn notes. So, but I'm almost done, and I know that I'm at the last two quests where you send out your champions to do the stuff for your order hall, so that I can unlock my final. That'll jump me up a ton of item levels once I unlock that last slot.
Yeah,
because I'll be able to put in a item level 800 something into that fire. For me, it's fire slot. And I went and got my other 2 artifact weapons too, just
Did
for
you?
the shit of it. Yeah, I went and got them. It was an achievement, and achievement horror. So
you're a big achievement
to get my other 2. And the story was kind of fun too. I had to go to Trisfall Glades over by Undercity.
Yeah.
And there's this old king who died fighting this Cthulhu type creature. So I had to go underwater, go and find it. It was in this underwater temple. And I had to go and kill his ass. And apparently he almost killed him. He had a sword. The sword was still stabbed in him from eons ago. It was still in the creature, and the creature was in a really weakened state or whatever. So I walk up and I'm trying to pull the sword out, and it wakes up, and I have to beat the shit out of it. And then I grab the sword and finish it off. And it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. And I went and got my arms and my fury weapons.
Because I only have my feral and my healing. I still have 2 others.
You need to get your boomkin and your guardian.
Yeah, my boomkin and my tank.
Yep. But I went and got them just because I am kind of tired of stuff in the world taking me forever to do because I don't do any damage. And when I come across Alliance, they take forever in killing me, but I know I can't kill them. I do not put out enough damage. They will always end up killing me. It's just how annoying do I want to be? Or I wait till I'm just about dead and I recover health, pop on my fucking cooldowns. At one point, I had 5 Alliance beating on me, just spells coming at me. I was perpetually stunned, but they could not kill me. I was just popping everything in the right order until, of course, all my stuff was on cooldown.
Speaking of, ran 2 heroics with you the other day, and a super improvement on tanking.
I'm doing all the reading I could find on it.
I don't have to worry about your health at all. I can literally not heal you for a while and focus on the group.
Yeah, that's
you know how huge that is for a druid.
Yeah, you got to work your hearts. Well, because I had gone off of a couple of assumptions before, because I read a couple of things, but you really got to read as many different people's perspective on the. What's the word I'm looking for?
The art of tanking.
No, your spell order. Your
rotation.
Rotation. Goddamn.
Your tanking rotation.
Your tanking rotation. How you want things to go. I have 4 or 5 things that do damage, and it finally sunk into me. They're all worthless. I don't do damage. That's not my job. My job is to get hit in the face
and occasionally critically
block is my best thing.
Block. Yeah.
So I literally
You just need the threat. You're not gaining threat off damage. You're gaining threat off abilities that gain threat.
I'm yelling at them to death.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say I've mastered, but I've gotten a lot closer to being I'm much more proficient now at literally and I think that's why the Alliance was having such a hard time killing me, because I was just popping all my shit at the right times. Well, because if you do in combination, the 2 that I was using separately from each other, together, they work marvelously. Because if you try to, because my finite resource is rage, and as I do attacks, and actually I don't gain rage by getting hit, I have to generate my rage. Fury Warriors generate it by getting hit. I don't know why we don't, but whatever. We don't.
Fury's not supposed to be hit.
I know that's what bugs me, but so I have to generate my rage. My 2 ways to spend rage are by using my active mitigations, which are shield block, ignore pain, and something else.
I don't know.
Something else uses rage. Oh, my heal.
Your victory rush.
My victory rush. Those are the 3. And I changed victory rush to where it's on a 15-second cooldown. It doesn't heal me for as much, but I can use it more often, and I don't have to use it. It doesn't, and now it's on a cooldown instead of only working after I kill something. That's what's increased my survival rate.
Yeah, that's a
but
must.
I need to actually, when we're in raids, I actually need to switch that over to inspire. Although, though, we might have to play with it, because if my 3% healing doesn't make that big a difference, I'm going to keep it where it's at. Because those 2 mythics we did, or not mythics, heroics that we did, I had it on the wrong one. Remember, I said, "Oh crap, I think I have it on the wrong spell." Because my other one is Inspiring Presence, where everybody gets healed for 3% of the damage they do. But we were fine.
Yeah,
we were fine. And then it was good to having that ability there, where I hit an oh shit moment. That's 30% of my health that I get back.
Yeah, whatever. It's huge.
30, and it's not a health number amount. It's a percentage.
30% of your max health.
30% of my max health. Boom.
Yeah, that's 30% of your health you're getting.
And there's a trick to making it give you more.
Really?
I activate my one of my abilities that increases my health total by 10%. So now it gave me 30% of that increased 10% more. So
nice.
I'm almost at 3 million. So it's going to give me almost 300,000.
That's a huge
health back.
Huge chunk.
That's like one of your big hills.
Yeah, one of my huge ones.
When getting one of your huge heals. So yeah, I've been working on that and using them together. So Ignore Pain ignores 90% of the next X amount of incoming damage. The more rage I use on it, up to 60 rage, the more it's going to block. And one of my trait abilities, when it prots off drop called Dragon Scales, when it goes off, I activate Ignore Pain with that, and it gives it like 50% more damage that it's going to ignore.
Jesus.
So, and then if I use Shield Block at the same time, I'm also I'm blocking 20% more of that damage. So it's like, it's insane.
Yeah, that's
so
insane.
The 10% of that damage that's coming through, only 80% of that 10% is
Dude,
coming through.
and I have 3 hots on you.
Yeah, like I mean, for the majority of that first heroic, my health didn't go down. So
no, that's what I'm saying.
I watched that video at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I watched it, I'm like, what is this guy doing? And of course, it's hard to see it from your perspective because you're the healer. I can't see what he's doing and popping.
Yeah, so like I showed him because I've gone through dungeons with him. Like healing him is usually not an issue, but his health will fluctuate.
Oh yeah, it'll
and
go
I'm
all
like, this
over
is
the place.
fucking bugging me. And then I did a fight with another warrior, and his health literally never moved.
Like it moved eventually.
It moved eventually on bosses or like unexpectedly big trash pulls.
Right.
But for the most part, it didn't waver from this.
Right. He never lost more than like 30% of his health at once.
Yeah, and I was like, what is he doing that's different? And I showed Sojex, and he was like,
I'm like, what the fuck?
What am I doing
and
wrong?
And I was like, oh, well, maybe he has like a ginormously better eye level and stuff like
there's
that.
no way it's that big of a difference.
So anyway, yeah, I did my homework on that, and
raids had just came out. No, people hadn't even cleared Mythic yet.
No. So I'm at level 823. So I'm right there. I did my world quest for the day today, so I won't be able to look at it until tomorrow. But
I gotta do today's.
I do.
I'll do it later, or I might not do today's. I might do tomorrow. I don't know.
Well, I'm all cleared, so I could not do them for 3 days.
Yeah,
but I'm doing them because I just got the Tears of Elune, so I finished off Volshara.
There's literally not much I can get.
And
I have to do mythics, and I think I have to do more than just Mythic 0. I need to do.
I think, what did I find? Oh, I got shoulders today. I think you're missing shoulders, right?
I'm missing shoulders.
There was purple
Shoulders
835 plus shoulders, I believe, today. That's where I got mine today.
It's only 10. I don't know. Yeah, okay. I'll probably do that.
Which gives you like one more item. That's stupid. I almost wish that chest piece I told you that dropped, that purple, that dropped for me.
I think Monday I'm gonna do my Mythic level 2 Darkheart Thicket.
You have the thing for it, huh?
I have the thing.
So what does someone need to join you with that?
No,
just
nothing,
eye level?
Nothing. You just need to come with me. Not even eye level. Like you just
Monday. So tomorrow you're doing that?
Yeah.
When?
I don't know because my wife has got a whole week off in transition for her thing. Yeah, I'm doing nothing. She's here, so I can focus a little more. So I'm definitely gonna do that thing.
I got all sorts of work or class. Dude, why was my manager 30? We didn't open until like almost 30 minutes after we were supposed to have opened. It's all bad. But
alright,
it's King.
King of Madness,
aka Gizmo.
Cole, you still caught us in the beginning of what we've been doing. So for me, finally, Mr. Hog. 30 minutes on you. Look at that.
We talked about other stuff.
I've played Battle Right with Doom and Dart.
Okay.
Battle Right is a ton of fun. It's technically a MOBA.
Okay.
But there's no lanes.
Okay.
It's literally just the team fight aspect of a MOBA. That's it. It's a best out of 5. So whoever wins the first 3, done.
What's the determination for winning? You got a certain amount of lives or something?
No. Yeah. You have 1 life. You die. You're done.
Oh wow!
The rounds go by within minutes. It's fucking quick. So it's a best out of 5. So even after a full thing, maybe 10, 15 minutes have passed.
After all 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Because once you kill that one thing, that's
or 3 rounds. If you do all 3 rounds, if you win all 3 times, boom, done.
Shit.
So
Nice.
It's fun, and it's only 2v2 or 3v3. That's it. And there's
it's 2v2 or 3v3.
There's 2v2 or 3v3. You can pick. So like me and Doom, we go in just the 2 of us. That's it. And we're gonna go against another 2, or me, Doom, and Dart, all 3. Boom. It's a ton of fun. They have 5 different supports, 5 different melees, and 5 different ranged. And within that, there's damage dealers, there's tanks, whatever.
Sure.
What do you think I play?
Depends on which trend you're following. I'm going to take a stab and saying that you're probably healing.
I tried, not good.
Okay, then the second one is going to be that you were doing ranged.
Nope.
Okay, well,
I am a melee tank.
we have to stop the stream.
This is so for I'm only good with Baco. And Baco is this big dude. He has no facial hair here. He just got it right here. Boom. And he's got a nose ring.
So like
he's got a giant shield.
So like the mutton chops.
He's got a giant shield. And he's got a sword. Or an axe. He does have a range component. His right click throws.
Okay.
And his whole mechanic, the extra damage he does is based off of his axe. So what happens is he swings at somebody, hits them 3 times, he gains 3 stacks, and then his axe does max damage. So he does have a little bit of a range component. I can harass a little. I got poke.
Okay.
But then he has a shield that he pulls up, and within a 180-degree arc in front of him, he blocks. He reflects any projectile coming at him.
Very nice.
And then if a melee hits them, they get stunned. And then as you go through each round, you get another talent. And the talents can radically change how your dude plays or whatever.
Okay.
So I have that. I also have a charge. And then I have a slam that incapacitates people, and if you hit someone who's incapacitated, then they come out of the incapacitate.
Makes sense.
And then my ultimate is this fucking super long charge, and if I hit someone, I take them the full length, and then I jump up in the air and slam down on them.
Jeez.
Dude's amazing, and I am fucking quick with him.
Is this a free-to-play MOBA?
It's going to be free-to-play. It's very much like Smite. If you pay the $20 now, you get all heroes forever.
Okay.
Or it's right now you can only pay to enter.
Okay.
And I think January, February is actually coming out and going the whole free to play.
Is this through Steam?
It's early access right now, yeah, and it's through Steam. Game's a ton of fucking fun, dude. So we were playing Battle Right. I have no regrets.
Regrets. No regrets.
No. The tattoo is regrets.
Ragrats? I've seen
regrets.
Yeah,
Ragrats. Ragrats.
I've seen both. Ragrats, regrets. I've seen
regrets. That's the Snickers commercial. The regrets.
No, it's the Milky Way.
The Milky Way.
Having a Milky Way?
I'm having a moment. It's the dumbest commercial. Anyways, so Battle Right. Wow. Me and Doom started. We finally started our Dead Island Riptide playthrough. We played roughly 9 hours last night. Only in chapter 2.
Not bad.
There's we're literally 28% of the way through the campaign.
Okay.
9 hours, 28%. Well, I did not realize how long this game was.
Well, the first one was fairly long.
Yeah. No, we knocked it out. A week, maybe?
A week of like 8 hours a day. Oh, you suck
at
Battle Right.
No, I don't.
King
I did.
Madness.
Okay, King hasn't watched the last several
he's seen enough.
streams.
He's seen enough.
Because I was trying to find my guy. I was going through and trying to figure out who I want to play. I tried doing all the different supports. I tried doing some of the range. I tried Baco, and I got really good with him. I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Well, I don't know. King says you suck, so...
Nah, King's a fucking dirty liar.
Damn, King.
Dirty. Okay, let's see. And then... and then Smash and Grab. I played some Smash and Grab with, once again, Dart and Doom. And I can't play it at the moment because it's got a really horrible memory leak. I can get through about a match now, and then it wants to die, just like Battlefield 1.
Just like Battlefield is doing for you.
But they know it's a problem. I've actually talked to developers on the Steam forums under the bug reporting. I was like, hey, look, I'm getting a memory leak. Here's my specs on my computer, blah, blah, blah. You know, and they're like, okay, it's going to be an issue. Send us these things. I did, and they're like, all right, we're actively looking into it. We're going to fix it. It is a known issue. And I was like, all right, cool.
Cool.
So it's going to be fixed. There's already been like 3 updates since I did that. I haven't checked to see if it's still an issue yet. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, that's about it for what we've been doing. So let's actually hop right into this because we actually have we have 3 big topics to talk about. 3 big topics and a few small ones. So first one is who saw this coming?
Not me. I stopped paying attention on that Sky.
So No Man's Sky is under investigation.
What?
Surprise. The United Kingdom's ASA, that is the Advertising Standards Authority, is investigating No Man's Sky and if it was falsely advertised. I think we all know what's going to happen with that. If they are found guilty, do you think a lawsuit will happen? The ASA does not have the authority to do a lawsuit, but they can say that yes, you falsely advertised, and there are laws in both countries against falsely advertising a product.
So it depends on how they end up going about it. Since they did now, when the refunds were being offered, was that the retailers offering the refunds, or
the retailer was not? No, the retailers were the
developers and the publisher. They weren't,
and only some. And then Steam only did it for so long, and then they're like, all right, we're not fucking accepting anymore. They said no.
Oh God,
you're stuck with it.
There you go.
Because I guess it became an issue. People were doing 60, 70 hours into the game and refunding it.
That is a little bit of bullshit.
That is bullshit, but I also think the game takes more than 2 hours to realize that it's been falsely advertised.
I would agree that it's more than 2, but definitely less than 60.
Yeah, definitely.
I would probably say like the 10 shit.
It's around the 10-hour mark. Freaking Bobby Bugnasty.
Still
10 hours on Steam,
of course,
and he hasn't touched it since. And that's the freaking sweet spot. The game's fun up for about 10 hours, and then you realize it's the same repetitive bullshit.
I think that should have been the cutoff. But so, should a lawsuit happen? I mean,
there are precedents.
And it's the situation where over-promising and under-delivering.
Yeah, when you promise a whole plethora of things, and they're just not in the game, or they're flat out lies.
Yeah.
Like, is there multiplayer in the game? Yes. No, there's not. You fucking liar. That's a flat out lie.
Yeah.
Did you even buy a server? No. Okay.
I was like, well, there are multiple people playing.
Shut your fucking pile. Here's the precedents. Aliens, Colonial Marines. We all know that fucking fiasco.
We also know that they can't manage to make a good Aliens game.
Yeah, that kills me inside. Yeah. Sega ended up paying $1.25 million out of that fucking lawsuit. It was a class action lawsuit. They dropped it as a class action, and then it went to 2 plaintiffs. And I forget who it was, but it only went to 2 people who decided to continue going with it. But Sega, and then they dropped Gearbox out of the lawsuit and went right after Sega because Sega was the publisher on it.
Wow.
Because Gearbox made it, but Sega is in charge of what they say during interviews and publishing and all that shit. And they give Sega the stuff. If Sega becomes sole, like your employees fuck up, but it's really your fuck up.
Right.
Type deal. If you're a manager,
it's like when you're a manager, their fuck ups are your fuck ups.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it happened there.
Yeah.
Killzone Shadowfall actually had a lawsuit against it, but it was found that the differences were way too minor to make a difference, and it had to do with resolution because it wasn't an actual 1080. It
was 720 scaled up.
No, 900, something like that.
Oh, so
yeah, it was very small. And then NVIDIA, with their GTX 970s, they ended up having a program where you can get $30 back for a refund, essentially, for each 970 that you bought. So, like, for me, it would be
why so little back?
That's how it worked out to how much... Because some judge or something determined that the last half a gig was
the difference between what they advertised and what they actually got.
Yeah, it was like a $30 difference. Okay. Someone somewhere determined it $30 difference.
Okay.
So, yes, I personally think that there should be a lawsuit, especially if they are found guilty of falsely advertising, and only for the express purpose of don't falsely advertise your game to everybody.
What I like to say, because I'm a big believer in deterrent, be it in crime or be it in
same here,
and things like this, which it technically is a crime.
It is a crime. It's a crime against your consumer.
To set it up so that a future publisher, developer, will watch what they're saying, or at the very least, I mean, because they were saying all this shit just weeks before the game came out.
Weeks.
At this point, motherfucker, you knew.
No, game had gone gold already. They were already printing discs.
You already knew what was and what wasn't. So you could say, hey, you know what? We fell under the mark. This is what we actually have. So if you
the rest is coming. Many developers have done that. Look, we fell short. We
had a time, we had a deadline.
We had a deadline. Had to come out. The rest is coming.
Yep.
Some people be mad, but you can't get mad. You can't stay mad at the truth. Like you can get upset that I'm not getting everything.
I would always rather hear the truth. Yeah. So that's why, like, when certain games, like the most recent one that I can think of, Final Fantasy 15, got pushed back.
Get pushed back.
You're not done with it. Push it back. I have no problem with that.
I never have a problem with you pushing back a game.
No, like it's getting me irritated, especially if it's something I'm really looking forward to. I'm like, damn, I want to play.
Yeah, but I'm not sending death threats.
No, but it's like, fine. You take longer. I got no money right now anyway.
The other thing, the other end of the spectrum is, which I've dealt with it on my personal Facebook feed. One of my not ex-employee, but coworker, white knighting the shit out of No Man's Sky. It's a great game. They didn't lie about nothing. It's amazing. Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't care if you like the game. They lied. You can't get around the fact that they lied. No. No. My old one.
Okay. The one I didn't like?
Yeah, the one that's with,
Oh, got it. He's an idiot anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You can finger spell.
Yeah. That one. Yeah, No Man's Sky sucks. He's white knighting the fuck out of it.
Completely unrelated. I have a favorite sign language sign.
Yeah?
Weird. That's weird?
Yeah. It's just a W.
And the thing is, to make it valid, you have to make a facial expression. So you go. Weird.
So yeah,
No Man's Sky sucks. Very well put, King.
Very well put, King.
Proud of you.
The King has spoken.
Yes.
Yeah, he's white knighting the shit out of it, and I don't understand it. Like, I don't care if you like it. It's cool that you like it. Lies are lies.
One of my coworkers, he enjoyed the game, and we were talking about it. And he's the kind of guy we can be very matter of fact with each other.
I don't understand how people aren't rational.
No, this is weird in sign language.
Three.
I'm learning sign language.
You have a W.
It's a W.
W.
And he just weird. Oh, I guess you know what?
Because it looks like two.
Yeah, it looks like two.
It's a W.
It's a Hydra.
Yeah. The Hydra.
Fucking Hydras. God damn, I need so many herbs. But no, yeah, he highly enjoyed, not highly, he enjoyed the game for what it was, but he had no problem admitting, yeah, it's not what they said it was, but I still feel it was well worth my $60. Yeah, and then I told him how he was wrong, and he's like, yeah, you're right.
You're right.
But we can be very matter of fact with each other, so it's,
this guy, he did not want to hear it.
Well, I had a customer come in one day, right? And, oh, hey, do you have a brand new copy of No Man's Sky? I'm like, yes, I do, but you don't want to buy it. What? Why not?
I meant to do that the whole time.
Oh. We're supposed to have that up.
Yeah, we're supposed to.
On investigation.
This right there.
But he's like, can I get a brand new copy? I was like, hey, well, tell you what, we got a pre-owned copy.
Pick it up.
You're not going to want it. You're not going to like it. What do you mean? Look, I know this is terrible, and I should be trying to convince you to buy stuff, but I don't care about you buying stuff. I want you to be satisfied with your purchase. So I'm like, buy it used. It's brand new because the guy who bought this one turned it back in the same day.
Yeah.
And I told him to buy it used, and he wouldn't listen. So here you go. You have pretty much a brand new copy. Been played once. It's kind of like... No.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's kind of like a certain country's rifle fire. Never fire, drop once.
Oh, God. Actually, none of my viewers are from there, so I'm good.
Oh, France. So anyway, No Man's Sky, under investigation, well-deserved. Give us money backs, even though I didn't pay it.
I don't even care if there's not a money back. It's just... maybe get fined. Get fined for falsely advertising your game.
Yeah.
Fucking pull Sega. Pay money.
Pay money.
Like, that's the only way businesses learn. You hit their bottom line.
Got it.
As long if their bottom line is hurt, they change.
I wish they could get really specific with it and be like, hey, these certain individuals who are in charge of it, we take from their salary.
Right. That would be fucking hilarious. Like the individual CEOs get fucking smacked. Just fucking.
You gonna learn today.
Take their bottom line out, not their company's bottom line.
Spell long dick. You gonna learn today.
Next one we're on to is actually here. Let's just do this.
Switch the animation. Yeah. Oh, let you go.
Amazon Game Studios. What? So, in case you didn't know, Amazon has a game studio.
That's stupid.
I'll tell you why Amazon has a game studio, too. In case you didn't know, they bought out Twitch back in 2014.
I was not aware of that.
Apparently, a lot of people weren't. They recently announced during a Twitch thing that that does not smell like anything you named that you ate, by the way.
We have 2 players.
During a Twitch stream, they announced 3 new games that they're doing, all with super deep Twitch integration. Now it makes sense why they have such huge Twitch integration. So the 3 games coming out: Breakaway, it's a 4v4 team brawler with some mechanics into it.
Screenshots of it?
I don't have any at the moment. There was a stream. I was going to do the video, but I ended up playing it till like 5 in the morning, so that didn't happen.
I was waking up when you were going to bed.
Yep. They have a new MMO coming out called New World. It takes place in the 17th century.
Is it a whole new world, though?
No, hold on. It takes place 17th century. But, are you ready for this?
No.
It's an alternative historical thing. Every superstition back then is now real.
So, werewolf, vampires...
All the kind of crazy
chupacabras?
stuff. All the kind of crazy stuff.
I'm still scared of the chupacabra.
No,
I'm not afraid to admit
fucking
that.
Kukui. See?
Hey, kukui.
Makes your butthole pucker.
It does.
And then...
I forget, that was the best gamer tag I ever saw in my life.
My butthole
I was playing Modern Warfare 2.
Yep.
Modern Warfare 2.
On the PS3?
On the PS3. And I shot this dude. No, this dude shot me. And it was like, you got killed by you make my butt pucker.
Yep. That's the best gamer tag. And then there's Crucible, which is it's kind of light on details, but it seems to be a third-person battle royale. So you got 3 people. There has to be some cooperation, but it's still everyone versus everyone. So you have to cooperate up to a certain point,
okay,
and then you turn on each other.
Oh.
And then it looks like there can be a one more person is in kind of spectating, and they're kind of like a game master that can make things happen.
Interesting.
It seems very cool.
So they're doing their own studio. Do they have any? I mean, they don't have.
This was light on details. The only thing that they just showed was Breakaway. And then hold on, let's do this. Here's some of the Here's some of the things that Breakaway is introducing. Some of the 4 new ways the Twitch community can interact with the streamers. That is MetaStream, which allows streamers to customize their broadcast with real-time stat overlays.
Okay.
Broadcaster Match Builder, which lets broadcasters invite their followers to join their matches.
I like that.
That's really cool.
So we can...
And then Broadcaster Spotlight, which adds to the excitement of streaming. It tells players when they're in a match that's being broadcast and lets them follow the broadcaster with a single click.
That's
awesome.
So
if you're in the game, like if I'm playing, it'll let everyone know, hey, DarkSide Junkie streaming. You know, here, click here, watch the stream.
Nice.
And then String Plus, which gives broadcasters new ways to interact with their viewers through polls and by allowing viewers to wager loyalty points that are redeemable for in-game rewards.
Interesting.
I will almost definitely be playing some of these games.
Yeah, well, we'll have to be trying this out. I mean, New World being an MMO. Or do we know these games are free to play, purchase? Like, what's going on?
We don't know. So the second game, New World, massive. It's an MMO, open-ended sandbox game that allows players to carve out their own destiny with other players in a living cursed land. So, like I said, 17th century, but all the superstitions are real. Players can band together to reclaim monster-haunted wilds and build thriving civilizations or strike out alone, surviving in the face of supernatural terrors and murderous player bandits. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. And then there's Crucible. You're the last survivor on a hostile in the world. Players choose and customize heroes, making alliances and betraying allies on their path to victory. And an additional player heightens the drama by triggering events, live streaming the battles, and interacting with viewers. Sounds really freaking cool. They actually have some really cool decent stuff. Here's the thing, though. Brand new game company. I don't know what talent they have behind it. I gotta look into it. But brand new studio, temper expectations.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. So there's that, and then boom. What's this? You might ask.
StarCraft.
No, you'd be dead wrong.
Fallout Craft.
Closer.
Fallcraft.
No.
Fallcraft with a vengeance.
Wasteland 3 just got announced.
There's no Nuka-Cola. I'm not interested.
It's all about that sarsaparilla, though.
Oh, another really cool thing that they added in Nuka World, dude. You can combine different Nuka-Colas.
What?
So your Nuka Quantums, Nuka Cherry, and they added a couple more types that you can only find in Nuka World. You combine them together, takes away all the rads, so it makes them 100% useful. But I made one where it restores like 130 hit points, so it made some hella awesome combinations with actual Nuka-Colas. So anyway, there's that.
There we go. Okay. So, Wasteland 2, they're In Exile is the one who makes Wasteland. Really quick story. I had the school subjects on this.
Yeah.
Wasteland was before Fallout.
No.
Wasteland 1 was done first. And then studio and the devs kind of got split up and reorganized and all that kind of shit went down. A lot of the original people that wanted to continue doing Wasteland could no longer do it under the Wasteland name, so they did Fallout instead, which takes massive influence from Wasteland. Wasteland 2 just recently came out, so it just got rebought and everything just started happening again. So this is the original Fallout. So people that still like the original Fallout styles would play Wasteland.
Old school.
Yes, the old school stuff, the isometric top-down. So In Exile are adding some new features to the game that take the franchise somewhere new. One of those new features is multiplayer with synchronous and asynchronous gameplay. So, it's going to have 2-player co-op, which is freaking amazing. And straight up, one of the devs said, we're going to have a fucking blast with it.
Good.
They said, and it's not just solving puzzles together kind of co-op. It's about narrative multiplayer and what can happen when the two of us are in a world independent of each other, doing other things on the map. So, each player fields a unique team of rangers. So, we each have our own team. When they're close together, they can participate in the same turn-based tactical battles. But when they're apart, each player can move the story forward without the other present. We can go and do separate things. We can go elsewhere. You can go west, and I can go east, and
interesting.
So forth and so forth. For example, he said, let's say that you're sleeping and I go on a mission where there's a sickness among some cattle. I decide to resolve it by killing them all. You wake up and you're notified that mission is complete. But when you go back to the game, there's a radio call. The town, they're kind of pissed about that. They want money for those cattle. You can convince your friend to pay up, or you can pay it yourself. You could even refuse to pay entirely and live with the consequences. It's setting up a whole lot of crazy stuff to happen, and I'm really liking it. It's a little different because like on Divinity, we can still do separate things, but when you start like progressing forward,
the main story stuff happens together.
You have to be together.
But not only that, a lot of the missions or the fights are set up so you have to have 4 people, or else they're incredibly difficult. So you have to be together for that.
Divinity 2 is changing all that too. They're allowing completely separate stuff, and each person has their own story, and they conflict with each other. Damn. So some people need to give up some things. Some people need to it's actually going to be. It seems really interesting. It looks like multiplayer now. Instead of it all being, we're cooperative, we're the best buds. It's now there's adding conflict. There
was a low level of it before. So, say you and I were dealing with an issue.
Oh yeah, the rock paper scissors.
The rock paper scissors thing. So it was agree to disagree, and then we went with Whoever won the random rock, paper,
But
scissors.
now, like, your story could completely fuck or affect my story.
That'd be awesome. Then they're going against each other.
And you can actually fight each other.
That'd be dope.
Like, there's some shit that can happen. Like, it's looking really cool.
Well,
There'll be more on Divinity. There'll be more on Wasteland because on the 5th, so 2 days from now, or a day from now. I can't remember.
3 days from now.
3 days from now.
Today's the 2nd.
My bad.
Out here, it's the 2nd. Oh,
yeah.
Croatia.
They're gonna have their first gameplay vid.
So Wasteland 2 just came out, but they're
not
already...
too long ago. No, not just. It came out a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
They're taking a portion.
I think
of
it
the
just
money.
came to console, didn't it?
Yeah, it came to PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh, it's only $20.
Yeah, single player though, not co-op.
Right.
Great game though. It's fucking amazing. Really good. You can make your beefcake dude from Fallout in here if you wanted to.
I'm really
They have all
liking
that
this
kind of
playthrough,
stuff.
dude. Like, I'm enjoying it way too much.
Do it in a turn-based environment.
It's so
dude.
great
much
though.
fun.
Since I'm committed, I do carry one. Oh, I got this awesome legendary drop for a pistol. It's a 10 mil, but on criticals it freezes the enemy.
So you just sit there, boom, switch, and then just. Bash.
One thing that's very, very difficult to deal with as a melee is the suicidal super mutants.
Yes.
They're very hard to deal with.
You just run.
In the sense that you can't. That's what it comes down to. But I pulled out my pistol, has a chance to freeze, froze him. He was coming at me, and I was like, ah! And then he froze. I was like, oh, walked up, smacked him. He was dead. I took the nuke off him. It was fantastic. It was fucking awesome. I also figured out, I remember American was asking us for help with a certain trader that he needs to come in.
Yes.
I think he was incorrect in one thing. I, up until this morning, did not have built my trading post in my garrison. I think you have to build the trading post. Because the first thing that it said was like, oh, you get a random merchant every day or whatever. So I was like, oh.
That's it. Right
so
there.
I built it, powered it to level 2, and also you're going to want to do this. Building stables so you can get mounts. There are 6 mounts that you can get. The very first one I went out to capture, but you have to train him. It's kind of cool. A cleft hoof. One of the big ones that I wanted.
Yeah.
You get a little lasso. You got to go find him in the wild, and you find a young one.
You get a little lasso on a big ass cleft hoof.
No, it's a baby. It's a baby cleft hoof. So you go and you have to be on your mount, and you lasso it, and you follow it around for a little while, little mini game sort of thing, and then you end up taking it back to your stables, and then you're gonna spend the next. I think it takes of X amount of days, and you train it and do different things with it every day, and then it becomes a usable mount. But there's 6 different mounts that you get that way.
Nice.
So you want to do it. You're gonna want to do it. It's easy. Takes 10 seconds. It's super fun.
Yeah, here's some of the screenshots.
September 19th, 2014, Wasteland 2 came out.
Nice.
So we know.
Dude's got a rifle here. Looks
Little
like
crossbow.
he's got a crossbow there. Energy weapons. There's energy weapons. There's perks for energy weapons. It's very Fallout.
Okay, I'm about to give it a shot.
It's a ton of fun. I really like it.
Do you have Wasteland 2 in your
Yeah.
Steam library?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll check it out.
And then, so that's all I have on Wasteland 3 at the moment. It just got announced. It's light on details, but the big thing they announced, co-op and how they plan on doing it. It sounds amazing.
Speaking of remakes,
we're
not talking about remakes, but now we are.
And say what? So, jumping right into this. So this is all rumor. It seems to have a lot of credence behind it. Wow, right on the mic.
Sorry about that. Thought my volume was turned down.
So this is just a rumor, but looks like there's going to be a remake. Also looks like the remake was going to go away, but now it's saved, but still might go away again. So here we go. Let's start going right on it. So it's supposed to be a full-on remake, not a remaster. Like a complete remake, updated graphics, updated systems. Think Final Fantasy VII, like that kind of a level of a remake. Phil Spencer said that he wants it to be remade for sure. He wants a remake.
I'm okay with that.
He's the big guy for the Xbox One. And sends a little bit of credence. Microsoft recently sent a cease and desist letter to Rum Runner Entertainment, which is a team of modders working on their own remake of KOTOR.
What?
Yep. They sent a cease and desist letter to them. They're like, nope. And then Phil Spencer also was like, yeah, we kind of want one. But it looks like it's going to be a console exclusive. Sounds like. It depends. It might not stay exclusive.
Console exclusive and PC, or
no, like not PC. But it's also being fought over. It sounds like it's being fought over for console exclusivity. Microsoft in particular, wanting it only on their platform because the original one was Microsoft original Xbox to begin with.
Yeah, but then it came out on everything else.
No.
Well, not Sony, but I mean, it came out on PC.
Yeah, came out on PC.
That's the only thing I'm worried about, really.
Yeah, same here. Battlefront seems to be a big factor in Coder not coming yet because EA wasn't happy with Battlefront.
Yeah, no.
Wait, what? That makes sense, right? They're not happy with Battlefront, so let's put on another game. Apparently, that might sound funny, but EA is focusing more on player retention these days. So, sure, they moved 14 plus million copies. Who's not going to be fucking happy with that? Problem was people were turning around and selling them immediately. They don't want that. Because they want more people to stay around and spend more money on a single game.
Of course.
So EA diverted large amounts of devs onto making more content for Battlefront. So instead of giving up, they're like, no, we're putting more in.
Has it been to any success? I mean, I still don't even know.
I don't know.
I don't know anybody that plays it anymore.
I don't either.
I mean, because
we had it for free and we barely played.
But it was. I mean, because it was fun, but like it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't original Battlefront. It wasn't. I mean, it was for all the shooter aspects of it that the first Battlefronts had. I feel that was there. That was good, but I wanted the maps to be able to choose to be a Jedi, to be one of the special cool people without being at the weird levels like.
And then you had, like Clone Wars, you had your ARC Trooper, you had your Dark Trooper, you had your Storm Trooper, you had your Scout Troopers, you had all the other stuff.
And here it was just not. It felt very rushed. It felt very lazy. But at the same time, to be fair, I haven't explored any of their content, of their extra content. But
any of their DLCs,
it hasn't made a giant difference in the conversation.
They did the Death Star attack, and then they did. There's a new one that they just came out with.
Wasn't there something on Tatooine?
Yeah, there's they added some more stuff. They added more heroes. I know there was Dengar and a whole bunch of others. I remember some of them. Some of the people don't really remember, but I know. There's also much debate.
Apparently, getting a Rogue One themed piece of DLC.
Yes, there's also much debate going on internally over at EA whether they should be focusing on new IPs and continued sequels rather than the past with remakes and remasters. There's literally in the span of 1 week. So back in August, it was announced, then denounced in the same week.
Wow.
That Mass Effect series would be getting an HD remaster for current gen consoles. So it was two really big heads over at EA. No one knows. Like one's like yes, there's no, and then like there's a huge debate going on. That
I think that they should. I think there's a good amount of people that Mass Effect came out long enough ago, at least the first one, that they would be able to get.
It was supposed to be the whole trilogy remastered, all set to go right on the current gen console, so Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah, I know. I talked to the.
I wouldn't be mad at a remaster on PC. Like a whole. I don't know remaster. I'm thinking maybe a remake. I don't know. Something a little more updated because I watched someone play the first Mass Effect on PC. It's rough. It's really rough.
I know. I started playing it and I was
rough.
I was like, like
sorry,
I got to the Citadel and I was like, oh my god, no.
Well, let's just do the comic strip and I'll make my choices and we'll be done.
Man, there's no achievements.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately is a big reason for some people to play.
Mm-hmm. So, here's what we know. EA has Star Wars exclusive rights for a decade. Which is now dwindling now. So that time frame has been...
Yeah, it's been going on since, what, 2012, 2014?
Something like that, yeah. So, we're already a few years in. And they have, what, one game out?
Unless some of the mobile games that they've done count.
I think they do.
Star Wars Galaxy Heroes and a couple of smaller things.
We know that they have multiple projects currently in the work of more Star Wars stuff. It looks like there's a Star Wars MOBA coming. Blight Me, how's it going, man?
What up?
There was a video that we seen, and it looked like there were multiple lanes. It looked like there was a Jedi fighting some minions or creep looking like droids. It looked like there were some AT-ATs in the background. It looked like a MOBA.
Okay.
If you had to guess. But we know there's multiple. They've announced that they're doing multiple projects. We also know that Disney's an asshole. I fucking hate Disney. And Knights of the Old Republic got folded into the Legend series, which doesn't count as canon anymore.
Right.
The only thing we still see being worked on under the Legend series is Star Wars: The Old Republic.
The
there's
MMO.
The MMO.
Yeah.
There's really nothing else Legends titled.
I just realized you. Oh, never mind.
What?
Never mind. I was gonna say something stupid. But we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
So I don't know. I really want there to be a remake. I love this game. I not even a remake, but a remaster. Sorry, a remaster. I titled that wrong. Remake. Yeah.
No, they want a remake.
Yes,
I want a remake.
Yes.
Not just an HD remaster.
Thank
like
you.
A full ground up remake.
I was right to begin with.
Yeah, you're right. Well, because especially they have the badass engine there. Because one of the best claim to fame for Battlefront. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's especially Endor was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Run around on the planet on the moon, forest planet Endor, and everything is amazing looking.
Endor took place here in California.
Yep.
Redwood Forest.
The Redwood Forest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've peed in that forest before.
I have not.
I have. It was great. I enjoyed it. I believe it was 7th grade. But they have a magnificent engine to use. They don't really don't have to do much else with it.
Can you imagine?
And they just make the Knights of the Republic again. And plus, see, like I said, well, I'm probably part of the oddball. I'm very much into the gaming culture now, where I wasn't growing up. I came into it really late because just the way.
Yep.
The way I was raised and everything.
You came into it in high school, middle high school.
Yeah, like almost junior year of high school.
Controllers have been a part of my life forever.
Mm-hmm. So I went into it really late. So but by the time you're like, hey, check this game out. It looked so bad compared to the current games at the time. I'm like, oh god, it's so hard to play. And even going back. And even with Knights of the Republic 2, they did that cool, really good update that made it look good, but it's rough to go back and play those really, really old games.
But I love this.
And I know they're amazing. That the story is amazing. Every time I play it, I want to play it. But the lack of voiceovering, the lack of how not for everything though.
No, not for everything, but all the main story stuff,
the main scenes and everything were. So I would love, personally, as someone who became, and I know this is really silly, and actually had this little fun little thing on when I worked on Saturday, of Star Wars fandom that came up. There was this lady, still really well put together for her age. Like, I was astounded, really. I know. I'm saying she was probably 50.
Oh,
and
like those Brazilian grandmothers.
Damn near.
Okay.
She was definitely like bleach blonde and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, she came in buying some Pokemon cards for her kids. And then to the right of the register, we have a bunch of Star Wars stuff, a whole Star Wars wall, all the swag that we have. And she sees a First Order Trooper mug. And she says, oh, is that a Stormtrooper mug? And just at a glance, I was like, yeah, Stormtrooper mug. And she brings it over. She's like, oh, wait, these aren't Stormtroopers. These are First Order Troopers. And I'm like... Damn, lady. I'm sorry.
King told you to calm yourself.
Gives me the vapors. But I was like, damn, lady, you know your Star Wars shit. I'm like, that's amazing. Most people don't, But I was like, oh, sorry. Yeah, I at a glance from back here, it looked like Stormtroopers. No, you're right. Those are First Order Troopers, and it's force of habit. I've been calling them Stormtroopers forever. And she looks at me. She's like, you don't look old enough to be fan of the first movies. And of course, because she doesn't even know.
Do you not know it's a fucking franchise, a global franchise?
But to be fair, we didn't see them when they came out. Well, but she did.
The pure EA remake.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Bite me. They got a cease and desist.
Yeah.
From Microsoft. Or no, from was it Microsoft?
From EA.
Yeah, from Microsoft.
From Microsoft, they got it.
Microsoft sent the. I wrote it down. Microsoft sent a cease and desist letter. So
anyway, long story short, I was impressed with the fact that she knew the difference between a stormtrooper and a first order trooper, and it was her and her husband's anniversary of whatever amount. And I showed her some other cool Star Wars stuff that we had there. But it was really cool.
That's a good wife. She's buying her husband Star Wars stuff.
Yeah,
it's a good couple.
I came home and I told my wife, I'm like, this is my expectation for you.
Rum Runners did get the cease and desist, and I believe appear on. I was doing more research after I wrote this up, and I forgot to add it. And I didn't save the link, unfortunately. So you can take it as however you want it. Take it with a grain of salt. I can't remember 100%, but I'm pretty sure Apparong also got a cease and desist.
Well, no one but the people who own the rights to the game should be making them.
It's really gray and iffy area. If someone big like Microsoft sends you a cease and desist, you have no choice but to stop unless you can afford the lawyers.
Right.
Unless you can afford the litigation. But as long as you're not reselling it, you're legally within your right.
Really?
Because it's fan work. It's just fan work. In that case, any... You know those... I hate to use this. Those erotic fictions with, like Harry Potter's and Star Wars and all that stuff.
Or the supernatural ones where they're making out with each
other.
Or
supernatural ones. Those would all be counted as...
Fan.
Those are all fan-made, but you're allowed to because it's really weird. It's very gray. They're not selling them. They're free consumption. Uranium, IP is IP. That's different. God. Microsoft, they couldn't fight it. And not Microsoft. Sorry, Nintendo can just you're gone. Pokemon Uranium.
Yeah, I know.
It's really great. If you read how the law is written on it, it's technically not. But as long as it can make, they were making money like off of ads on their page, and that's how they got shut down. Like you can't get any revenue, even if it's hosted on your webpage and you have ad revenue going through there, you're technically making money off of it because people are going for Pokemon Uranium and you're making money.
Right.
It's very gray area. You can make 0 cents, and you have to have a fucking team of litigators ready to defend you for it, and you better be able to pay them.
Yep.
So on to the next. Our handheld's dead.
Define handhelds.
I'm not talking mobile.
Oh, okay.
Mobile completely separate. I'm talking dedicated handheld machines for... So I'm talking like, your 3DS, your Vita, your all that. So here's where we're at. Mobile gaming, I mean phones what we all have. Like 98% of the population has.
Yeah.
Mobile gaming accounts for almost as much revenue as PC gaming and console gaming combined.
It's insane.
Bringing in about, on its own, $27 billion in revenue a year versus the whole industry's $100 billion revenue a year.
30%.
PC gaming is also exploding with huge game sales and hardware sales. Console gaming is expected to rise 4.5% this year.
Okay.
And we're talking in the billions of dollars, so that's a lot of fucking money. 4.5% in it's a lot.
I'll take 0.25% of $1 billion.
Yeah,
I'll be happy with that.
And handheld is dwindling. It's only $2 billion in revenue out of the whole $100 billion.
Jeez.
It's 2%.
Bad.
Back in 2010, handheld was $3 billion, compared with the overall game industry's $10 billion a year.
Wow! So the gaming industry has almost has doubled over has grown 10 times its size in 6 years, and the handheld has gone down.
And it went down. It went from 3 to 2.
Yeah.
So it's a huge drop, along with the explosion of the rest of everything else.
Right.
Nintendo has been pretty much safe, pretty much has stayed afloat thanks to their handhelds, and no thanks to the Wii U. And because of the Wii U, they lost so much money on the R&D. It was the very first system that they sold at a loss. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But even those sales are starting to dwindle now as well. 3DS has moved 14 million units in 2013 and only moved 6 million this year so far.
Jeez.
That's a massive drop for a company.
Well, the biggest reasons are that in 2013, that's shortly after the 3DS came out. The new 3DS came out. So, or no, not the new, but the 3DS came out. So, I don't know either. But now, see, like I've had the last DS I bought was in 2013. Actually, I've had the same DS because I mean they're a quality product. They last a long time.
They last a long time.
As long as you take care of them. And mine look like they're just out of the box. You know,
yeah.
I take really good care of my stuff. So, and while they've produced the new 3DS since then, the difference I was like it's not worth the difference for me. So, and I didn't want to get rid of my special.
You also
edition.
have to remember every year there's someone entering new into the market. There's new bodies. They should still be selling a large amount, not a low amount.
Right.
So, but this is like the number one reason we see so many special editions right now.
These 3DSs. There have been so many.
I know Tiger Electronics. We don't have any out here though.
What?
Tiger Direct and Tiger Electronics. We don't have any of those stores out here.
Oh yeah.
They're not out here. So,
like, I'm thinking Tiger Electronics, like the old school, like one game in a little handheld sort of thing.
Those?
That was Tiger Electronics.
Those were Tiger Electronics?
I want to say so.
Oh my god, I think you're right.
I haven't seen those in a million years though.
Dude,
because they're obsolete.
He was being sarcastic. I got you now. He's being.
That's sarcastic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He doesn't know, man.
I don't speak.
It went right over me. I glanced at it. I didn't even see the Kappa. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, those Tiger Electronics.
Okay, those are Tiger Electronics. Okay, yeah. The Madden game and the football ones and the basketball ones. Yeah. Okay, I remember. I remember now.
Okay.
I remember.
You want some member berries?
But yeah, that's why we see so many special editions. We see like there's been how many Pokemon ones now? I see multiples.
God damn. Well, there's going to be one on Sun and Moon, and only one, which is odd.
Yeah.
With X and Y, there was not. What is it? Wonder? Well, there was the 20th anniversary one, which was a stupid one. It was just white and it had a faceplate that you literally snapped on. I was so irritated with that because I was looking forward to that. I'm like, 20th anniversary, there's got to be a badass new one coming out.
Yeah, like engraved on there, not just a painting, something.
No, and it wasn't even great snap-on. It was a snap-on case, and all it was the cover art for Red and Blue. It had Blastoise and Charizard.
Like if I touched it wrong in my brain?
No, not that bad. It was sturdy. It's sturdy enough, but it wasn't.
No, just snap on.
It wasn't worth. It still wasn't worth it. I looked at it. I'm like, still not worth the upgrade. And it didn't at least come with. I'm irritated at the fact that special edition systems used to come with the game that they're special for.
Yes.
Not the case with Nintendo systems anymore.
They lost too much money with the Wii U. You notice how it doesn't. They don't do that anymore.
Well, the Wii U still does. The Wii U still comes.
Well, yeah, the Wii U does. But
I bought the Wii U that came with Mario Kart 8.
Remember, they're not. They're separate divisions, but they're all their money's still coming from the same.
Oh no,
place,
I lied. It didn't come with Mario Kart 8. No, the one I bought was a special holiday bundle. Came with Splatoon and Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, the only ones I've seen that came with the game has been, what was it? Harvest Moon? No, Animal Crossing, Mario Kart, and there was a Mario.
Well, that was just the 2DS one. No, and they still didn't come with the games.
No.
The Fire Emblem one that came out didn't come with the game.
Oh yeah, it didn't come with one.
And that's why I ended up looking and not buying them. I'm like, fuck, I gotta spend $200 to replace my system and still
have to pay $40 for the game.
Yeah, for another $40. Like we're in the age of everything you can give me. You can give me everything digital. At least give me a fucking digital copy of the game.
At least a digital copy.
That doesn't hurt you.
Fucking nope.
I also don't understand the inherent value of digital.
It should be cheaper.
It should be cheaper, and it's not because they don't have to.
They don't have to. We have allowed it to the point where they don't have to.
They don't have to sell it.
Because we still buy it. Ooh, digital, we'll still buy it. Doesn't matter. So, so here's a look at the totals. 44.06 million units sold of the GameCube the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color. That family right there.
98 to 98.
And then there's 41.64 million units sold of the GBA and SP family.
That was me right there.
That was a big part of me too.
Yeah.
Although I loved my Game Boy Color as well. I think my first Game Boy Color game was Mega Man. 59.93 million in the Nintendo DS family.
So that's 04 to 09.
Yep. And then only 20.11 million 3DS.
Shit.
That's a third of the previous generation of handhelds.
Well, because I don't know. It is,
and that was 2010.
2010.
We're in 2016. It's been 6 years.
I just think they kind of plateaued at what they could do.
New 3DS, but yeah.
No, I think yeah,
the new 3DS, 3DS XL, and then the new 3DS.
Yeah,
will be right here. But yeah, so it's a massive drop off, a third.
Yeah,
within 6 years.
Well, and it's because for a lot of the reasons.
And DS was 2004 to 2009.
Yeah.
5 years, and it's been 6, and it's been longer, and they haven't even
got
touched
halfway there. Yeah, it's bad, and I think the reason for it is because there's so many trash games, and then the Nintendo the entire 3DS family is simply looked at, the entire handheld Nintendo family is simply looked at as the for kids console. With the exception of your Fire Emblems,
Monster Hunter,
Animal Crossing, and your main Nintendo big hitters, minus anything Mario related.
Yeah,
those people pick up those because like, oh, you know what? I have a 3DS.
I have a Nintendo product. I need a Mario game.
I need a Mario game. And sometimes you crave those simple platformer, and that's what those are.
Yep, you just sit there.
But the only reason you open up my case of DS games, it is 90% Pokemon, 10% Zelda. 8% Zelda, and then 2% my Fire Emblem games.
Your Fire Emblem, yeah.
Did
you have the new one?
Yeah. Both of them.
Borrowing your shit.
No, you're not.
The only time the needle has moved for the 3DS family was the recently released Pokemon Go, which was a mobile game. But that seems to be Nintendo's new strategy at the moment.
Well, you saw that they're doing Fire Emblem for mobile.
No,
they're going to do Fire Emblem for mobile. They're going to do Mario for mobile. They're going to go strong into the mobile market. My problem with it is they're going iOS.
Only?
From what I've read.
iOS market is dwindling. Android market is gaining massively.
Nintendo seems to like to go into the harder markets.
The fuck is what?
That's what I read. Or it was either that or that it's exclusive to iOS first.
Oh my god, we're gonna have mobile exclusives now. We already do.
If you recall,
but
I want to say it was the 90s, Apple and Nintendo were gonna do a system together.
I remember.
It's called the Pip.
The Penguin,
the
Pip something. I remember.
Pip Color, something weird. Like it came out in Japan.
3000 or some shit like that.
No, that's a Pip Boy 3000.
No,
totally different. Apple and.
But yeah, like I was saying, it seems to be Nintendo's new strategy at the moment. They've stated this too. It's to get people into their mobile games, which in turn get them into their dedicated stuff.
Right.
So, for instance, and it worked. It seemed to work out well so far with Pokemon Go. You got a large part of the population playing Pokemon Go, and yet Pokemon Go kind of dropped off. They made some stupid mistakes that people were very unhappy with.
Yeah.
But it got a lot of people to turn around and go and buy a 3DS and go buy Pokemon. They're dedicated games.
There were people. I remember when I used to work more regularly, and only at the store in the southern part of town, that we had customers who would buy a 3DS or buy a DS, whatever was relevant to that, buy the Pokemon game, play it, beat it, and trade them all in. Within a couple of months, and that's what they did.
Really?
They're like, I just want to play a new Pokemon game, but they weren't like me, who I hoard all my Pokemon and I keep them on and everything. Like that. Also, for next week, I'll have an update on what Pokemon Bank is going to look like for Sun and Moon.
Okay.
I've been working on that a little bit.
So, with all this said, what does this say for the NX, which is reported to be a console mobile hybrid?
The NX is going to be the Fusion
console handheld.
It's the Fusion Ha. That's more.
You think so?
Yeah. And I'm.
So, what does this say for their dedicated handlers? Think they're going to get rid of them and just stick with, or slowly phase them out, and just go straight to everything's the NX?
Probably slowly phase it out. probably slowly phase it out because they do a good job of phasing out their old systems relatively quick to launch with the new systems.
Yes, they do.
They stopped Game Boy Advance game production within a few years after the Nintendo DS came out.
Yep.
And same thing with the 3DS came out. Now all the games are 3DS, and then
because they usually make sure there's a good amount of games or core games out for the next one before they stop.
I've actually usually found the marker to be once the new Pokemon game comes out. It's actually usually around the marker
because Pokemon pushes fucking.
And well, here's the big issue is with the new 3DS XL. They tried doing that. There are a handful of games, very small. The only notable one that I can think of off the top of my head is Xenoblade for the new Nintendo 3DS
and Monster Hunter. You have that C-stick
and Monster, and also they only worked on the new Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah.
So they tried to do that push, and I was even telling customers, "Hey, I think this is probably what Nintendo's going to start doing." And for a while, I was trying to figure out, like, why didn't they
do that for Pokemon?
Well, no, I was trying to figure out why haven't they gone only new Nintendo 3DS? And that's because they don't have the sales to back it up. They look at their sales and they go, "Shit, we haven't sold a fucking ass lick of new Nintendo 3DS."
Not even half in.
Well, no, and that's the entire 3DS family. I'm talking the new 3DS, the one with the C-stick built in, and it has slightly better processing speed, better energy efficiency. But they tried; they're the only new Nintendo 3DS, and that just didn't sell well. Mm-hmm. So that's why they stuck with still making them all on both.
There's also people that hear 3DS and they don't want 3D. They don't buy it. Because you got to remember, Nintendo targets the casual market. Right. So when you confuse your casual,
which is very easy,
they don't buy your product.
Yeah. Just tell any of them to explain to you what 1080p actually is.
Yeah, and they don't realize that it doesn't. You can just turn the 3D off.
Turn it off. Yeah.
And that you don't have to play, and you're not losing any value. There are people out there that go, if it has 3D, then I want to use it.
But it makes sense.
And I'm not talking like because they only want 3D, but they go, I want to use every single feature. I'm like that with my hardware.
Yeah.
If my hardware can do it, then I want to fucking do it. Like,
and I understand that fully.
Like, if I bought it because it can be overclocked. I bought it because I can run it this hard. Mm-hmm. I want to tinker with it and I want to make it do it. I can understand that mindset.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's like, if you don't want to play 3D, but you want to make sure you're future-proofing yourself for future consoles or whatever, go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Well, I will say, though, the XLs, I like them because I kind of have... I mean, I don't have massive hands, but I have kind of big hands, and the regular size 3DS is just small enough to where my hands cramp playing it.
Yes.
So,
like the SP. I fucking hate it.
Well, see, the SP came out when I was really, really young.
Yeah.
I hadn't even hit my young man strength yet, so... and I just got my grown man strength last year.
I could not stand the SP. My hands cramped within 10 minutes of playing that fucking thing.
Terrible. But the XLs were good because they're just significantly more comfortable. I did also dislike, however, how big it is. So you can't have it both ways.
You can't have it both ways, yeah.
Making them XL damn near took it away from being handheld and portable.
You know what was perfect for me? The 2DS. The way it was shaped.
I don't like it.
Here's why I liked it. The reason why the 2DS I felt was better, the way the weight was distributed and where you held your hands on the thing did not leave your hands cramped. Even the regular 3DS and the XL have the hinge, the screen is too heavy and your hands are too low. You're not center balancing it between your hands. So my hands would eventually cramp up.
Well, like me, I see where you're going with it, but there's a franchises that Nintendo does that I've been playing my whole life and I'm always going to play. So
yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be playing the Nintendo games, but I'm
they're saying this was nice for him. He was young, but like for me, like
he was saying now you're too big for them.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. He must have got confused. I don't know what she's talking about.
I don't know. One of a couple things. Either you're talking about the fact that we're adults playing Pokemon and Mario games and stuff like that, but I mean,
their target audience is not actually kids. It's actually our age. It's the
I feel like Alola's targeting kids.
Alola's trying to target a younger audience now.
Yeah.
But like the black versions and all those were not targeted for young kids.
Oh yeah, if you actually play the story and read the story for those
were targeted for all people. They're trying to grab a new crowd right now.
Yeah,
but our gamer target audience is actually a wider margin. Yeah. It's like the late 30s into teens. Mm-hmm. Like it's that whole section right there. So
because now the general person in my age group grew up playing games from like day one. Like they didn't go outside.
And the funny thing is that's just going to keep increasing because people my age have been playing since we grew up with controllers in our hands.
Yeah.
But that I get. My thing is, I think the NX would do well because console is still going. Console is expected to rise, but with handheld going away, as long as they're not being pushed as handheld, I think, because obviously there's a stigma for handheld. It's in the numbers.
It's in the numbers, and then you really look at it. Your typical adult, right, working or going to school or whatever, is going from point A to point B, and we are now the drivers. We're in the driver's seat. We don't have time to play on the go, sort of thing. You get to where you got to go, you do what you got to do, and then you go back home.
See, blame me. I'm talking like they're gonna stop doing the handhelds. Yeah. I don't think they're not making money anymore.
No.
The market is so tiny.
Yeah.
Like why, as a company that does both, you do a console and you do handhelds. You see your handheld market shrinking, but you see your freaking your console market going up.
Well, their own console market's not going up. Other people's console markets are going up.
Yeah. Well, because of the Wii U. But you're seeing these numbers and going, yeah, well, handheld, I'm getting rid of it because the numbers support it. There's no.
I'm all for this hybridization. This I like to call it the fusion Dragon Ball Z.
It depends on the price point that they launch it. It's going to be the deciding factor for Nintendo.
Yeah,
they're going to have to price this thing right, and it's going to depend on what's in it, like how they power it.
The fact that they have said the Game Freak person. Let's see.
People know what mobile is, though. Mobile is phones.
Yeah. What makes me think that, yes, this is going to be a full hybridization, full immersion of their two markets is the fact that they have said that there's going to be a core Pokemon game on it. Now, whether or not they said it's going to be a launch title, I'm not holding my breath, but
if it is, it'll push.
If it is, dude, I'm selling my kidney. I don't need it.
You can sell your... What if it plays the perfect... this is too perfect for it to actually be
too perfect, so it won't happen.
It won't happen, but if it can play your cartridges, you pop them in and boom, you play them.
That's what I'm expecting.
Like it's backwards compatible.
I don't know if it'll play the 3DS ones.
Well, they've always been backwards compatible. No, but what if they decide to not be backwards compatible?
Actually,
they have
the handheld first generations almost always are. Actually, now that I think about it, because the Game Boy, the Nintendo DS in 2004 had the bottom cartridge for it, and then once they went from 06 to the DSi, it no longer played it. And then the DSi XL in 08.
And we got to remember we're talking console now. But like, what if this is the first console to not be backwards compatible? Because they haven't had backwards compatible for a while. All right, they've been backwards compatible for a while.
GameCube was not backwards compatible.
Except GameCube, because they had that big.
They had the mini discs.
Yeah, Jesus Christ!
Throw your money in the wrong basket, but that's okay.
Yeah. But what if they're not backwards compatible with Wii U because they're like, fuck, Wii U did sell, so fuck it, right? They're just like
they're not worried about the 18 people.
But what if they decide to be backwards compatible with the freaking already their handhelds?
I think that'd be a smart move.
Then you could get rid of your handhelds.
I wouldn't.
Well, I know you wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
But most people are like, I want to afford this. Yeah. What do I do? There's a lot of people like that.
Don't sell it to my employer, but
you'll fucking get ripped off.
Truth. You're getting less for convenience is what you're getting, but
yeah.
But I mean, you know what? Yes, that would be too perfect, and the fact that they don't have a disc drive, because that's factual.
The patent does not have a disc drive. So
could they be using the old disc drive and be like, "Hey, here's the old disc drive. We'll play the Wii U games." I don't know. But here's the other thing, though: if they give us access to the Wii U games, they have to make all the motion controls work. And if they're trying to completely change the tables, I think they have to step away from motion controls. Yeah, I think they have to go to the core system what it is, and maybe make them compatible.
Motion control is just such a gimmick for me unless you're doing it with VR.
Unless you're doing a VR, yeah, gimmick is still
unless you're doing it with VR.
And most of the games, when given an option, I took off the motion capabilities.
It doesn't enhance anything.
No, it makes it annoying, and half the time it doesn't work. Like with Mario Kart 8, I'm playing, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll do the motion.
Here's how I determine a gimmick. Does it actually enhance core gameplay? No, it's a gimmick.
That's also subjective.
It is subjective.
That's how you feel. Someone else could say, oh, God, no, steering the wheel makes it feel totally real. All right, whatever floats your boat. So I don't know. Maybe they just kind of have to change their tactic a little bit, where their main audience could still be the core gamer or the casual gamer, but then they try to target the core gamers because there are a lot of games that are Nintendo exclusive that core gamers love. You know, sure. Not talking about the Mario games, but the Metroid, Donkey Kong has always been some of the more difficult platforms that exist. The Donkey Kong games.
Yeah.
So a lot of people love those Donkey Kong games. Fox. Star Fox. Goddamn, couldn't remember his name.
Fox Zero.
The Star Fox, like Star Fox 64. People love that fucking game. Bring back some of the RPGs that they have exclusivity to, like Earthbound. You know,
Earthbound would be nice.
They could make money just by doing a good handful of solid remakes. Bring them back. And as much as I'm not a giant fan of remakes.
I don't. It's not.
He said, in his opinion,
yeah,
or Blightney's opinion. I don't know, male, female, whatever you are. The NX is a gimmick in your opinion. So I mean, hey, we're all entitled to all opinions. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how it folds out. Nintendo makes mistakes, arguably more often than others, but I think that's also because they're not afraid to go out of the box, unlike some of the other ones. It could be a good leap of faith. I know that what I need to be happy with a system is a solid Pokemon game, which Wii U never gave me. The closest I got to a fun Pokemon game was Pokken Tournament, and unfortunately, my wife doesn't like playing fighting games, so it's and the only
got you at the Wii U.
Yeah, the Wii U. And I only have a handful of the good games now. Thankfully, I just picked up Wind Waker in the original case. Which
did you get Xenoblade?
No, not Xenoblade yet. I want that game a lot. That's one of the best RPGs out there.
Yeah,
and I want it.
Nintendo, yeah.
Its price hasn't dropped.
No, well, it's Nintendo.
It's Nintendo, and that's the other thing too. I think that
Nintendo's value holds too well. It's like a fucking Honda.
It's so difficult. I know, right? It's so difficult to because, for example, one of my best examples is The Last of Us, exclusive to PS4, PS3 initially, PS4 later on.
Sony.
There you go. Didn't hold its value like a Nintendo game does. My question is, why not? It's exclusive. It's a fan-fucking-tastic game. So many people call it the best game. The Xbox, I do see the Xbox and PC Love Fest to be the next big thing where a lot of people are going to be unifying their PC Windows 10 experience with their Xbox One experience. But that's going to be a good chunk of the casual market, but not the kids. I think most Nintendo's core audience is still the family. It's still the casual
PC gamers won't touch Windows 10.
There's no point. You get your exclusive titles. I had another customer who was like, yeah, I have an Xbox One. He was pre-ordering Gears 4, and he's like, this is going to be the first time I turn my Xbox One on since the last exclusive. Oh, okay. And that's just how it is.
And if you wait, Quantum Break's already on Steam.
Yeah.
It's not Windows 10 exclusive.
No.
It was a timed Windows 10 exclusive.
Sure, just like Tomb Raider.
Yeah, just like Tomb Raider.
Was a timed exclusive for Xbox One. But I do agree, though. That is going to be the big next winner of the PSVR. Like I was saying last week or week before.
It's the cheapest VR to hop into.
It is the cheapest VR to hop into. So you're going to have the people who want to experience VR and don't want to fork out for the HTC Vive and the...
it's a double-edged sword with this VR stuff. The only way price is going to go down... people buy it.
Yep.
People don't want to buy it. Price is too high.
Yep.
It's a double-edged sword.
And if there isn't enough people buying it, the software support for it dies off immediately.
Yep.
I think that's what happens. So I know you're not a super fan of the motion games, but the PlayStation Move was the best motion controls. The best.
It had a better 1-to-1 ratio on movement.
It was the most accurate. It was. It was just great, and the fact that it's so easily integrated with everything else.
The Gear VR. Yeah.
Is that the one that's just for the phones? But see, then people, most phones don't have that lasting power that a console or a PC has, because yes, it could hook it up and do all that with it, but it's not.
The only one, there's three that people are talking about. You have your Oculus Rift.
Yep.
You have your HTC Vive.
Yep.
And then you have your PSVR. Those are the only three that people are actually talking about.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting. We definitely live in an interesting, fun time to talk about what's going on at large in the gaming industry.
There's so much going on.
There's a lot going on, and unfortunately, we're not monetarily fit to be able to explore every option that exists out there. But
if only,
eventually we'll get there.
Swear to God, dude, if I won lottery, I'd still be doing this.
Yeah, because that's,
I'd like doing this. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't stop.
Yeah, no, it's I'd definitely take a long ass vacation though. Go to the Caribbean, get a little sunshine.
No, I just start a second channel on YouTube and do a. No, I haven't, but I did see it, and I have a small write-up on it. I'm going to talk about it for tech. I'm thinking about adding a tech segment to this every now and then, maybe every 2 weeks or something like that. I'm going to compile a tech segment. The C922 is nice. It's mine, right? But it records in 60, and it has a built-in chroma key. So it determines what's behind you and blacks that out.
Huh.
Or not black, but
a ProStream webcam,
huh?
Yeah, I've actually, and I think we've kind of done it slightly before when we've talked about. I think when we go from talking general gaming hardware and gaming software, when we go into talking about specifically, hey, check out this video card, check out this RAM, check out whatever. It goes more into the tech aspect of it. When we've done it a little bit before when we talked about, we're talking about that really badass gaming laptop that's being made. That's coming out. That's like $6,000. But
blight me. If you have Twitter or Facebook, check out. We have links to those. If you want, send us stuff, and I will talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, half of the time we have a hard time figuring out what we want to exactly talk about.
Yeah,
we try to keep it relative to the newer stuff. But we would love talking about just general tech involving what we do. We both manage the Facebook page and we both manage the Twitter. Mm-hmm. So if you send it, we will see it. Yeah, if one of us doesn't see it, the other one will.
And I will write up, and I'll do a write up about stuff. I'll do my research on it. I'll put it up. I'll do what I can. But yeah, if you send us stuff, we will talk about it on the podcast. Like, it's not going to be like, we're not talking about it. We will talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're not talking about 1980s tech. Only as comparison for, what's happening now. Yeah, that was it.
If they do, back to NX, if they do a core Pokemon game at launch, it's going to be really hard for me not to buy it. And
I think it's going to be really hard for a lot of people not to buy it.
And it depends on what they mean by core game. Because if it's a remake, I'm going to wait. If it's the third version,
What if it's like Soul Silver, but on console, with maybe a few added new features?
I'm probably still gonna wait. I'm gonna really want it, but it's not gonna be a full new. I don't know. I cannot commit to how I'll feel about it once we know. I can't even. I can't really.
We don't even know what the fucking thing looks like.
I gotta see what the fuck it looks like. Like Nintendo.
Like, for me, a console. I don't give a fuck what it looks like.
Nintendo.
I really don't care what a console looks like.
No, but what I mean by what it looks like is what we're getting into.
Yeah, what we're getting into.
Is it an NVIDIA tech sort of thing where it's a weird tablet we're going to carry around, it's going to HDMI into our console, into our TV when we get home? I don't think so. I think it's going to be some sort of like the removable controller thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's going to be a docking station.
Station. So, like, I just want to know what the hell we're getting into. And if the hybridization is true. And then my biggest issue with it is budget, knowing the price point.
Yeah.
Gotta know the price point.
Gotta be a price
do
point.
I gotta start collecting cans? Like, what's going on?
Are we going to get a PS3 here, $600, or like...
I don't think anyone will make that mistake again.
He says, can I search up? Blight me, send me on either Twitter or Facebook the NVIDIA Shield stuff, so I can look into this client server setup stuff, so I can understand what you're talking about, and then we can talk about it better.
Yeah.
Go ahead and send me that stuff, and I'll spend the week researching it and looking it up, so that way we can come back next week and talk about it.
That's funny. The battery's dead on that one.
Oh yeah, Barry's dead. Right, this was Japan only, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't recognize that one.
Yeah.
89 is when we first got ours.
Yes.
And then the one on the 2005, dude, the Game Boy Micro, dude, that thing was awesome. Yeah, so I want to know details on it because, like I said, if it's like we said last week or the week before, if it's fully Wi-Fi based, kind of like the Vita streaming, doing the remote play for the PS4, you got to have strong Wi-Fi. And I want to be able to take this to class and play in between classes. You know, I want to be able to. You want
it to be like one of these.
I want it to be like one of those.
Any of these right here. So,
plus, I want a really good Metroid. I want another Metroid Prime, a solid Metroid Prime. Did you know a Metroid game came out? Did you know this is the 30th anniversary of Metroid?
No.
This year, they don't even giving it any attention. It's so stupid.
So
I mean, I think that's the long and short of what we have for this week.
Yeah, that's the long and short of it. We actually had quite a bit to talk about. Almost did 2 hours.
Yeah, just about. It's.
So, I did all this morning.
Whatever's clever.
I was gonna do it last night. I was up way too late. All right. Well, that's our podcast for this week. We will catch y'all tomorrow. This coming week, starting Monday, my wife is off, which means as she transitions into a new job.
Whoops.
So, better paying job too, with better hours. So I'm going to be having.
So your scheduling might change.
My schedule is definitely going to change. So normally I start getting my big streams up.
Bye, bitches.
Well, fuck you too, King. Normally I start doing my big streams just Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night.
Yeah.
That's all going to shift a day. Probably.
Because she's going to be off Sunday, Mondays now?
She's going to be off Sunday, Mondays now instead of Saturday, Sundays. So
my wife's days off are changing to Monday, Tuesdays. We might be able to actually do something on a Monday one day.
Monday one day. Monday one day, wonderful day. I don't know.
Monday.
Monday. Anyways, that's our show for this week. We will see you all on the dark side.